So one thing I found interesting here, there's a student stage a die-in outside the Texas governor's mansion. This was earlier today. Local students staged a die-in Sunday night outside the Texas governor's mansion in downtown Austin. They are seeking common sense gun laws following Friday's shooting at Santa Fe High School. The die-in went on for 23 minutes, a minute for every school shooting since the school year started. And if you missed it, this is what the Texas lieutenant governor thought was the problem. This is what he thought was responsible and what killed 10 people. I'm sure you've heard it, but I have to play it one more time for you to get the full impact of the idiocy.
We may have to look at the design of our schools moving forward and retrofitting schools that are already built. And what I mean by that is there are too many entrances and too many exits to our over 8,000 campuses in Texas. Over 8,000 campuses. There aren't enough people to put a guard at every entrance and exit. You would be talking 25, 30, 40,000 people. But if we can protect a large office building or a courthouse or any major facility, maybe we need to look at limiting the entrance and the exits into our schools so that we can have law enforcement looking at the people who come in one or two entrances. Schools may have to have their start day. Not all students show up at once so that we don't have every student, there are 1,400 students at this school, trying to get in the door at once.
Translated, we're gonna have to be creative. We're gonna have to think outside the box because we can't go against the NRA and our big fat cat donors. I have never in my life heard something that stupid. And by the way, one of the parents of a young woman who was murdered in Parkland was on Meet the Press yesterday. And he commented how stupid this lieutenant governor is. So obviously, the issue is not how many exits and entrances there are at schools in Texas or anywhere else around the country. And by the way, even though the latest massacre was at a school, this is not just a school issue. So by this man's logic, Dan Patrick, the lieutenant governor, what are you going to do? The concert massacre in Nevada that killed 58 people last year, the shooter was coming up from his hotel room, 22 floors up. You're going to put armed guards in everybody's hotel rooms to block the windows? By his logic, you're going to put armed guards all over America? We going to, you want to stagger the way school starts so not everybody shows up at the same time? I mean, it's so ridiculous. And honestly, Ted Cruz, who I was tweeting about as the shooting was happening, Ted Cruz has taken all sorts of money from the NRA. All the Republicans and some Democrats in Texas have taken gobbles amount of money from the NRA. Yet, no, it's not a gun problem. It's how many exits and entrances there are. I mean, give me a break. I don't know how these people stand up with a straight face. You are literally spitting on teenagers' graves with this stupidity. And on a more serious note, I want to tell you who these people that lost their lives for absolutely no reason were, because we don't see enough of this. CNN, MSNBC, they're already back to covering Trump and Russia and bullshit 24/7. Here is one of the young students who was murdered, Angelique Ramirez. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing it right. Angelique Ramirez, 15 years old, was part of the youth ministry at Dayspring Church. Senior Pastor Brad Drake told CNN affiliate she often accompanied her brother to Sunday services at the church she attended with her parents. He described Angelique as a, quote, a sweet young lady who had a style all of her own, and recalled she was often sporting new hairstyles. Her aunt, Sylvia Pritchett, posted on Facebook, "All I know is you will forever be our rainbow baby girl. Every rainbow will represent you, just the same way you lived life and affected everyone who was blessed to be part of your soul's journey. Quote, you touched each and every one of us in so many ways you didn't even know. Rest easy, my angel. Forever the rainbow in our lives, a reflection of what love truly is. And I will get back to telling you who each one of these people were, but I just want to point out, and please press the share button. Let's get this out to more people. You know, I hate to call out Jake Tapper, who's a CNN anchor, and my business partner Jen actually, if I'm keeping it real, he's got a little soft spot for Jake Tapper. I think he's a waste, to tell you the truth. I mean, he's better than like Wolf Blitzer, but that's not saying much. So on Friday, Jake Tapper has Congressman Randy Weber on. Congressman Randy Weber. And Congressman Randy Weber is a Texas congressman who represents this district. Friday is when this horrible shooting happened. So you would think, I have the congressman who represents this high school and that district. Maybe we'll challenge him. Maybe we'll ask him about his $3,000 in NRA donations this year. Maybe we'll kind of press him on the fact that we've had, sorry, I don't have the exact number, but it seems like at least 20 to 25 school shootings this year, and we're only 5 months in. Just maybe. Maybe now's the time to do that. But Jake Tapper says, obviously there will be a time, down the road for us to, literally, I'm paraphrasing, this is basically what he said. He says, obviously, Congressman, there will be a time, down the road to get into, policy prescriptions to stop this heinous activity. But can you share what other lawmakers have told you? I understand you got a call from a congressman from Florida who went through Parkland. What are you, a therapist, Jake Tapper? Or are you a journalist? No. Friday was the time to challenge Randy Weber, Ted Cruz, Louis Gohmert, that wackadoodle, the Texas governor, Greg Abbott, who I'm about to get to in a minute. That is the time to challenge them. Not, excuse my French, pussyfoot around and say, oh, this is a family channel here on CNN. We don't want to actually challenge politicians who are taking blood money from the NRA and allowing our children to be massacred. I mean, what are these people, what is their goal? What is even their role as journalists? Not that I'm stupendous, I make mistakes just like the rest of them. But if I had a congressman on that represents this school, that all these people just were murdered, 8 teenagers and 2 teachers, maybe I would actually challenge him, because a quick Google search could tell you how much money he takes from the NRA. Let me get back to sharing with you who some of these people were. Kimberly Vaughn and her mother, Rhonda Hart, seen in this image right here. Student Kimberly Vaughn's mother, Rhonda Hart, initially posted on Facebook that Kimberly was in art class during the attack and said she'd been unable to find her. In a release Saturday, Galveston County District Attorney Jack Rohde confirmed that Kimberly was among the deceased. Kimberly's mother has since updated her Facebook bio with the hashtags Fight for Kim, Kimberly Jessica, and 1 of 10. It's just terrible. I mean, I don't have any words. It's just awful. Cynthia Tisdale was a substitute teacher at the high school, her family told CNN. Her niece, Leah Alindi, said the family was notified of her death Friday night. She was a member of the Anchor Bible Baptist Church in Pharr, Texas. Tisdale's brother-in-law, John Tisdale, said in a Facebook post Friday night. He also said in his post that his sister-in-law's husband, William Ricey Tisdale, is in bad health with a terminal lung disease. The couple has 4 children. 4 children lost their mother for absolutely no reason. Cynthia Tisdale's son, Racey Tisdale, told the Washington Post that his mother loved children and teaching. Quote, she started substitute teaching because she loved to help children. He told the newspaper she didn't have to do it. She did it because she loved it. This is Sabika Shaikh, again, apologies if I'm mispronouncing. The Pakistani embassy in Washington confirmed on Facebook that 17-year-old Sabika Shaikh, an exchange student, was killed in Friday's shooting, and that Ambassador Aizaz Chowdhury had spoken to the girl's father expressing heartfelt condolences. Ms. Scheich was in Texas as part of the Youth Exchange and Study Program, the embassy said in a statement to CNN. Our thoughts and prayers are with Sabaika's family and friends. Her father, Aziz Scheich, told CNN that his daughter loved to read, that she enjoyed studying U.S. history to learn from the best, and that she wanted to grow up to become a diplomat to make Pakistan proud. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said Sabaika was, quote, helping to build ties between the United States and her native country, and offered his condolences to her family and friends. Sabaika's death and that of other victims is heartbreaking and will be mourned deeply both here in the United States and in Pakistan, Pompeo said in a statement. Of course, Pompeo and that radical administration aren't going to do a damn thing to help Sabaika's family or other families not have this happen again, because they're fake religious people. They're religious, but not if it means taking away the guns and going against the NRA. U.S. Ambassador to Pakistan David Hale tweeted a statement on Sabaika's death. This morning, I called the family of Sabaika Scheich and offered my deepest condolences. As an exchange student, Sabaika was a youth ambassador, a bridge between our people and cultures. All of us at the U.S. mission in Pakistan are devastated by and mourn her loss. We will honor her memory. Sabaika's body will be sent to Pakistan on Monday, according to Pakistan's Consul General in Texas, Aisha Faruqi. Quote, there is a general impression that the life is safe and secure in America, but this is not the case, Aziz Scheich told AFP. You're damn right that is not the case. It's disgusting. It really is. Chris Stone, a 17-year-old junior at Santa Fe High School, was killed in the shooting. Sister Mercedes Stone said her younger brother was, quote, adventurous and willing to try anything, including parasailing, jet skiing, zip lining, and hiking in the mountains, she said. Chris played football and enjoyed video games. Being a brother was his best job, she said. Although he was the youngest, he definitely protected his sisters as if he was the oldest. He was always there if someone needed someone to listen or cheering up. Chris was, quote, definitely the life of the party and one of the most understanding, open-minded kids I know, Mercedes Stone said. Jared Black, he turned 17 days before the shooting, and he was scheduled to have a birthday party Saturday. Instead, he was one of those killed in Friday's mass shooting, according to his stepmother, Demetra Kilgore. Jared spent a memorable portion of the summer with his dad, 2 brothers, and stepmom in California, according to family friend Elizabeth Ann McGinnis, who is serving as a spokesperson for the family. McGinnis established a GoFundMe account on behalf of the family to help them pay for flights from their home in California for the funeral. McGinnis was with Jared's father when he received the news, she said. His father, quote, sat in misery for 13 hours, not knowing if Jared was one of the victims, she said. Then he got the devastating news after 6 p.m. Shauna Fisher turned 16 just 10 days before she died. Her aunt Erica Fisher Farris said in a Facebook tribute. Shauna was in art class when she was killed. Her family said on social media. Farris said her niece should be doing all the things teenagers do. She should be worrying about getting her driver's license, making plans for summer break, maybe start thinking junior year and making plans for college and what she wants to be when she grows up, Farris said. Shauna had a young sister, her aunt said. Life was not supposed to end like this for our sweet girl, Farris said. Shauna's mother, Sadie Bays, told CNN she keeps expecting her daughter to walk through the front door, but she's never going to walk through the front door again. Other identified victims include Glenda Ann Perkins, a teacher, Christian Riley Garcia, and Aaron Kyle McLeod. And, you know, I'll give credit. CNN has an article about it, but, you know, it's a certain type of, I think, greed to be a media company that is more focused on keeping your ratings going and to keeping your profits going than to save lives. Because journalism can save lives if done correctly. Journalism, if you stay on a story that isn't a one-day story. In America, it's become commonplace where these shootings are a 1-2 day, if you're lucky, 4 or 5 day story. No, it's not normal when people shoot up schools. It's not normal when people shoot up concerts. It's not normal when people shoot up movie theaters. This should be these are monumental events in our country that should have vigils and protests and die-ins and media swarming, not only where it happens, but all these politicians' offices that represent Texas and Nevada and Sutherland Springs, where a shooting happened at a church in Texas last year, I believe, and Aurora, Colorado, Columbine. I mean, we could go on and on and on. Mall shootings. Of course, there's always going to be domestic disputes in America. Gun violence. Occasionally, we can't stop all of it. But it shouldn't shock me, to be honest with you, because I know how bad the media is. That's why I'm trying to start my own media company. But it's really just vile when the exact people that should be in front of Ted Cruz's office right now, who should be in front of Randy Weber, who represents this district, and should be in front of Texas Governor Greg Abbott's office, who, if you're coming to this late, literally his campaign just had to cancel. Yeah, some campaigns give like t-shirts, bumper stickers, buttons. His campaign was giving away a shotgun as a gift to a lucky, lucky supporter. I mean, that's not a democracy, folks. That's a wild, wild west shooting range we're living in.